Are you tired? I wipe away my tears, I said aloud.
No.
She shakes her head.
Let's take a walk outside. I want to take a look at where you live.
That's when I realized that she's still wearing her thin pajamas and her feet are still bare. That's out of the question. At least. But she just chuckles.
Well, what are you thinking? It's not like I can get any colder since I'm a spooky ghost.
Alright. Just wait a bit. I'll go grab a coat. I rushed to the bedroom, opened the wardrobe to take out my warmest jacket. Then, just as I was about to close it, I stopped. I grab a beanie. Just in case. Now back to... Ah!
That's 2 scores for Sayori.
Really, Sayori?
Oh, you have to learn to watch your back.
You'll pay for this.
Well, how about seeing how will you pay for this mess first?
She then begins to check my room, hands behind her back.
Would you look at this? Gosh, what even is this?
You know what you look like? I guess next you're going to put my name on that list of yours, right? President Sayori?
You bet.
I follow her out of the room with the beanie in my hands. Then I push the doorknob once again, embrace the cold night, with Sayori behind my back.
So, have we been here before? It doesn't seem so unfamiliar.
Yep, I didn't move that far. Remember that forest we used to hang out? It's not far from here since it's the suburb.
Let me think. Is there a lake where we buried our time capsule by it?
I smile. Yeah, beneath that biggest tree. We walk past a lonely street lamp as my shadow gets stretched into the darkness beyond me. Can others see you?
I'm not so sure, since I just woke up like hours ago and haven't seen anyone else besides you.
You just woke up. I look at her in confusion.
Yeah. I've had a long, long dream. Like, really long. Dreamed about lots of stuff. I remember hearing you talking with someone. And then, when I regained my eyesight, well, you were there, sitting in your bedroom, reading something. But I don't think you noticed me, so...
So that's how you get your first score. We continue to walk under the artificial light.
So what about the festival? What happened after, how's Natsuki and Yuri doing?
I guess I'll just tell her the truth. From what Monica told me, the atmosphere was a little dim. The festival fell apart due to a lack of visitors. Didn't help that the ones who were there didn't really care for it. And then, of course, well, you know what happened.
Monica.
What's wrong?
Well, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. What happened to our club after the festival?
Well, we disbanded because there weren't enough members, but I don't remember anything specific during that time. I just don't remember. I gulp. Now that I think of it, that period was like a glass covered with steam. Only ambiguous pictures come into my eyes. The rest is nothing but a blur. I only attended a few days of school after you left. So many things to fix, so many people to inform. I didn't receive any actual help since I literally got no friends. Hell, even reading those guidelines and filling endless forms were enough to make me a walking dead. I stopped to catch a breath. Your seat, your books, your photo on the class wall. Too many things to face. I couldn't stay there anymore, so I transferred as fast as I could just to get away. Sayori pauses.
What about Natsuki and Yuri? Monica?
A string of familiar names pierces my body, overpowering all my fights and resists. I can't dodge, I can't hide. I can only let the rain of memory soaks me, from inside out. I'm sorry. I don't quite remember. I didn't see Natsuki and Yuri after the funeral. I suppose I don't even remember their expressions that day. Guess sometimes it's better to just leave a person alone. As for Monica... I was reminiscing video game. A pair of emerald eyes suddenly emerges in my mind, an empty classroom. What was that? She's... Gosh, why is it so hard to remember? I frown, as if some worms slide into my clothes. The discrepancy in the memory questions my brain unstoppably. I think I've had met Monica after that. We talked, like, a lot. But it feels like I wasn't there, that I wasn't a part of it. And when I try to remember more of it, the memory just abruptly jumps to my new school part. It doesn't match. It doesn't make sense.
Ellie, are you alright?
She reaches out to my hand.
It must be a tough time for you, but it's okay to forget. Maybe it is even a bliss to not remember all of it, right? Let's talk about your college.
Her tone is returning to herself. Sure, where do you want me to begin with?
Let's start with your new club president.
Huh? We walk and talk, from my roommates to our new library, from that twisted statue on the campus to the dust deserting their steel eaves. I mentioned to her that I am keeping a sunflower in my room, and that big fat cat can't even roll herself over thanks to the student's treat, and some weird fellow sitting behind the bushes drawing the flow of life. And of course my new club president. There's still a literature club in my college, which is a good thing. Although everyone seems to prefer talking about music and movies, I still keep the habit of writing poetry. I tell Sayori about the notebook I was reading earlier. I keep every one of her poems there, along with my mindless sentences and phrases. From moist to dry, from dry to moist, all the way down until the end of the last page, until what's behind the back cover. Dozens? Hundreds? Maybe thousands? I can't quite remember, just as I can't remember how many hours in 4 years, 1 month plus 1 day, nor how many seconds in 30,784 hours. Time never gives you a break. I was lingering in my comfort zone just a minute ago. Then I got thrown away into a place where 2 parallel lines meet a minute after, chasing the glassy butterfly at the edge of my reality. Act 2. Save me. I guess there's going to be 5 acts, since now 2 of the squares are colored.
Ellie?
She waves her hand before me. I'm pulled back to reality. The sun is revealing itself behind the cyan sky. We sit on the bench along the street, watching the bustling students crowding towards the school gate. Looks like we somehow wandered to our high school.
Is everything okay? You are spacing out again.
I'm fine.
I want to take a look inside.
She leans back against the bench. Under the bright morning lights, her smiling cheeks seem so insignificant. Sunlight penetrates her ghost outline, making it more and more invisible. I can't almost figure out those details inside the mist, like the dew retreating to the blue sky. Her body is disappearing in the noisy lights. Sayori! I cry out loud subconsciously. I feel gazes nailing onto me.
Huh?
I'm losing you.
What are you talking about? I'm here, dummy.
The curve of her lip is looming in the thin air.
You won't be able to leave me hanging this time. I'll stick to you wherever you go.
A fortunate cold sweat slips down my forehead. I could look for my old uniform if...
What about mine?
It's okay, I have... That's a bad joke.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But don't you have courses to attend?
It's nothing. None of them matters.
Okay. So what's next? We head back?
No. We have breakfast. I stand up and walk forward the moment I finish my sentence.
Hey, wait for me. What's with the speed?
It's a surprise.
What?
She trots to the front of me, walking backwards. Suddenly, a stranger passes through her, disturbing her figure to a mess. Hey! The fog reforms after the stranger leaves. Watch yourself.
What is it?
It won't be a surprise if I tell you.
Please?
She runs around me in pure curiosity. Do you feel anything when others run through you?
Don't change the subject.
Oh, and here we are. We walk on the sidewalk for a while before we reach the bakery. A lady is tidying up the mess of the rushing hour. Morning, miss. I would like 4 cinnamon buns.
Wow.
Sayori jumps all around the counters, eventually ending up staring at those decent pastries. I make my way to the checkout as her typical exaggerating voice echoes in the background. I can hear her wolfing down the food anxiously and those rusty wheels of the school gate grinding against the concrete. We are fired off like an arrow leaving its bow, pointing straight into the school building with our plastic bags flying behind us.
Hurry, just eat it!
Sayori is radiating her excitement from all over her body. Her happiness passes across the end of her hair to reach my palms, then drips all the way down onto those steaming buns. A little nervous, I pay the cashier. When the cashier walks away, I ask Sayori in a low voice. She really couldn't hear you.
I wonder if Natsuki and Yuri can.
I'm not so sure about Yuri, but Natsuki. She's probably gonna pass out.
Nah, it's not that timid.
I wolf down the 4 of them in one go. Sayori looks at me, satisfied. Good?
You bet.
I laugh. Fancy anything else?
Can you handle?
It won't hurt to just bring them back.
In that case, I want this. And this. This one seems good. Oh, I almost forgot the cookies.
I've just made myself another bad decision. Okay, that's enough. My fridge is not gonna hold it.
I just don't see you like this very often.
She looks at me, or rather, the 2 big shopping bags in my hands. I can only make up some compromising face. But these pastries are steaming heartily. I guess I will trade anything with the worlds as long as she's happy. Phew. I can't hold it. Let's take the bus. I lean against the wall to catch my breath.
No, you should take more exercise.
That's easy for you to say. Don't forget who am I buying this for.
Alright. It won't be that far since we have already walked this long, right?
I take out my phone to check the map. It shows 13.3 kilometers on the GPS.
We walked that far?
Given this, I refuse to walk a single step. I drag Sayori to the nearest bus stop. Unbelievably, again I try to look at the sign, line to line, up and down, but still fail to find my answer. Looks like we have to walk. I lift up the 2 bags, stepping forward reluctantly. I dig in my closet, all the down until I finally find my outfit from the past. How do I look? I slightly adjust my tie, then turn to Sayori.
You look like someone is about to be late for his club.
Really? I look at myself in the mirror. My collar is rather wrinkled, leaning against my neck. The edge of my sleeves have been worn out to its inner fabric, and those threads coming out from my sweater are seemingly telling the story of my lost time by my washed-out tie and the tightened seam. Not so bad, at least they aren't falling apart. Once again, I neaten my collar a little and button my blazer up. There's something in my pocket. I fumble inside it and take out something utterly soft. It's a worn-out note that I didn't take it out before washing it, apparently. Oops. I made a mistake by tearing the note to half. The other part sticks to my inner pocket.
What is it?
Dunno, it's something I didn't take out while washing. I take off my blazer, turn my pocket over cautiously, and peel the note from it bit by bit. From the thickness of it, I could tell that someone folded this a couple of times carefully. There are some words on it, but they are divided by the crevice. I slowly put the 2 pieces together, despite soaking it by the water, and staying in my pocket for God knows how long, they are still somehow recognizable. I speak them out subconsciously while reading them. To Hallie.
It's Natsuki's writing.
Sayori preempts me before I say it. Indeed, those blunt angles and specific strokes are all indicating Natsuki's style. I open both parts of the knot up synchronously to avoid mismatch the lines. That was a sentence. I could at least come up with 3 possible time points. I see Natsuki walk inside my classroom quietly, approaching my seat, take one last look at this very paper, then slide it into my pocket.
Dear Hallie, Yuri said she wants to favor, so for him, you rough weeks. I know what she lost, irreplaceable one. None. Anyway, said now about why gone wrong. I'm probably the off that day, but that doesn't remember it. Maybe answer just wouldn't. Don't feel like it.
Oh god, how long is this thing? Alright, I got lost. There we go. Let's see. We made guard and only imagined one bother her for her eyes, so I'll beat the shit out of you. Heck. As of Sayori, she really got every day now. Either taken, could their words, well, there were all talk a deserved, so you about that forcing you, but the literature club? Time? Without you, long home again, this time, fine. Oh god. Furring, oh great, you'll be telling you. And I guess then Yuri had something to say. Hallie, I don't at some point in the future, noticing it. Look forward, I believe you've of T. Shay come. Sayori had brought you and get of this going, but also only a piece. Is that an M? M-O-M-E? I don't know. Becoming ers. Of course, in such it is something that will take your time. I actually Sayori, but not told me, and bring numerous changes to us about you planning to transfer specific. It's highly possible that me gift a bow. I really love the Sayori's cabinet if you are ever. Oh well. Well, did I click out of it by accident? I clicked out of it by accident. Sorry if you want to see the rest of that. The paper has been soaked and rubbed to a mess. I make my best efforts to read those words, deciphering the original meanings from their fleeting figures. Even so, most of them just lost what they guard for within the lines and paragraphs permanently. Yeah, I kind of gathered that. I turned to the back of it. Indeed, there are 4 sets of numbers. I'm guessing it's their phone numbers and email addresses. Why there isn't Monica's, though? I've noticed that Sayori's not here. I look up to find her sitting by the window with her eyes slightly closed. Is she sleeping? Yeah, we stayed up all night after all, not to mention the long walk home. Leaving her to it, I boot up my laptop, trying to insert one of the addresses into it. I look at the profile picture of this email. This isn't Natsuki's style at all. I remember her chatting with me online. It's impossible for a person like her to use this kind of image. Did I type the wrong number? I grab the note and take a second look at those ambiguous ones. A few more new accounts pop out after I change those uncertain numbers, but none of them feels like Natsuki. This is confusing. There won't be as much trouble if it gets confirmed at the beginning, but now I really can't decide which is which thanks to the choices. What if she changes? It's been 4 years. What if I send something sincere to a complete stranger? That would be extremely awkward. Didn't she give me her number before she visits my house? That's right, how could I forget something like that? So I open up my contact list, searching for her name. Recalling something backwards as I lift my thumb off the screen, leaving the list sliding down on its own. I didn't just throw my old cell phone away, I've also deleted all my past acquaintances. What a great job, Hallie. I just have to move on to Yuri's. What is this besides her phone number? I mean, I thought it would be her email address since Natsuki is writing her own, but this isn't an email's format. There are some words there, with strange blanks in between. Is this some sort of mailing address? She does prefer this physical type of writing, though. Maybe it is, but these words are too vague to tell. I can't get exact information from them. I push the chair backwards, then stand up to check Sayori. I sit next to her. Her right hand is gently placing on the balcony, seemingly faint under the sunlight. I put mine in hers, matching the outline. Thin fog crawls to the back of my hand like a shadow, gently licking my surging veins. A weird pulse starts to spread to my palm, making the blood in my flesh synchronize with something. I stare into her temporarily peaceful eyebrows. Storm was wiping the field over along with all the existing orders. Before the overwhelming leaves and the grass returns to the ground, there was somebody sneaking in the rye. Dark machine arms dig into the moist earth from beyond the sky, turning all the straws over and carve the noise of gasoline into them. Metal wheels rapidly spin, the accuracy of math denies all the compromising and flinching. Seeds, they are forced to stare at their mother's roots, and to watch them get shredded apart by the blades. Grab, pry, and tear, cramp, swell, and sting, along with sorrow. Some reflection, then soaking, warmth. Numb smell, covered in weariness. Open up to see the night outside. And the black face on the ceiling. The emerald eyes spinning within. I stare at her in silence.
Aww. You finished? How long? How long have I been sleeping?
Her voice is extremely hoarse, like sandpaper grinding concrete. The only surviving moisture is struggling inside Gravel's siege. Not too long, like half an hour. I take the mug by my hand, adjusting its angle until the curve of the ceram completely blocks my view as the chilly liquid streams down my throat. Seeing my throat going up and down, there's an odd understanding tying us together. The brush wipes the dust of chalk off the blackboard, and her voice gets back to limpid temporarily.
Did you get in touch with them?
I was just about to talk with you about that. The letter is not so easy to read, but... I paused, touching the edge of the mug with my fingers. Could you tell me what happened? I look at her right into the eyes. Light blue turns deep cyan in the darkness, among the surging river and the steep valley and howling fire in the forgotten woods. My thought is finally confirmed. She looks to the floor. We are all preparing for the upcoming conversation in this dreadful silence. In the end, she responds with a sound that is tiny enough to be a fiber detached from the noose. Yet it expands to gargantua in my ears within a split second, just like the mountains rising and falling behind her back.
It's Monica.